Booktube, it's Missy, and I am an effing liar. Yeah, so last week, or the week before, maybe it was last week, I uploaded a book haul for May. I said I was not going to have another book haul. I had ordered books for Mother's Day, but I wasn't going to unbox them until June because that's when I thought I would get the books. Unfortunately, for me, the books came early. But they're good for you because you like book hauls, right? Yeah, no more damn books after this. Okay, I always say that. That's what she said. It doesn't work. Okay, so we're going to start off with the library books. Sorry if the camera's a little shaky. The books are practically on the camera stand. So I did borrow these 4 books from the library this time around. This one is not a graphic novel. I think I saw this on Brittany's channel, which is Underrated Reads Books. I believe her link down below. She reads a lot of books that are either scary or have magical realism or are weird fiction, and a lot of short story collections, also indie books, lots of really pretty covers. Her bookshelves are amazing, and I saw this on her channel, Picnic at Hanging Rock. I think it was either her or Mercedes, but I'm pretty sure it was her. And this is by Joan Lindsay. This was the only book that my library had that she book hauled. All the books that she hauls I want to read, and this is the only one that the library had. So I snatched it up. It's very tiny. The font is minuscule. I would say it's 10 on the font scale, but it's very short. It is under 200 pages, about 200 exactly. So I'm looking forward to this. I believe this is like a paranormal. And then I have 2 nonfiction graphic novels. I have Hyperbole and a Half by Ali Brosh. This was on my wish list a really long time ago when it very first came out. I think that was like in 2014, like when I first started BookTube. I always wanted to read it, and now I can. So yeah, the illustrations are all very funny looking. I believe what I heard was that the author, Ali, did all of these illustrations in Paint, in the software Paint, so that's why they look so gross. He looks like an ice cream fish. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to this one. And then I also have Marbles here, Mania, Depression, Michelangelo and Me, a graphic memoir by Ellen Forney, maybe? Ooh, this is all black and white. Looking forward to this one. I can't remember. I think it's this week. I'll double check and leave the information down below, and I'm also going to be doing a TBR for it. But there is a readathon for mental illness taking place this month, I think. And so I did want to read this for the readathon. Again, I will leave the information down below, and I will also be doing a TBR video for that. And the very last graphic novel I borrowed is called House of Mystery. This is by Matthew Sturges, Bill Willingham. That's the guy who writes the fairy tales. Fables, that's it. Bill Willingham is Fables. And Luca Rossi. I got this because it is a horror graphic novel, and I like horror. So this one is called Room and Boredom. And this is what it looks like on the inside. It's made by Marvel, or not Marvel, Vertigo. And so it's got that yucky paper. I hate the newspaper feel. It makes my hands feel super grimy afterwards. All right, now that the library books are taken care of, let's get down to business. All right, so the first box I have here, I purchased because I was going to wait for the very next day to purchase them on the Mother's Day sale. But I've had this happen before where I wait until the sale actually starts and then I lose all the books I actually wanted. So these books here are ones that I wanted that only had 1 or 2 books available on Bookoutlet, and so I snatched them up for full price because I didn't want to wait. The sale itself was 15% off, plus if you said you wanted to have a coupon, you know, and you told people about it on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, you got a $5 off coupon off of your purchase. I think you had to spend $35 maybe? I can't remember. Anywho, so this box is going to have the least amount of books. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books in here, 2 scratch and dents, 3 bargain. So I got the paper going on, paper. So the first book I have in here is Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Lessons from the Crematory by Caitlin Doughty. I wish it wasn't bent because that's not cool. And I mean, that's not really a scratch and dent, I guess, but I would like my books to come nicely, please. Lord, every time I get a book from Bookoutlet now, they're always broken. So that's the first one. Did I say it was nonfiction? It's nonfiction about crematory stories, which I am really excited to read. The next book I got is a scratch and dent, which it doesn't seem scratched or dented. Well, it is like bent a little bit. So this one is The Broken Hours, a novel of H.P. Lovecraft by Jacqueline Baker. The Broken Hours is a fiction about H.P. Lovecraft, which is like the godfather of horror novels. And this talks about his life. Fictionally, though, not non-fictionally. I'm excited. I really liked this cover. I needed to own it. And so I do. Alright, the next book I bought because of Mercedes over at Mercy's Bookish Musings, and that is Vampires in the Lemon Grove and Other Stories by Karen Russell. There is a couple other ones that Mercedes recommends, called like Swamplandia, and then there's another one. I really liked these paperback covers, the ones that she had, because it's very simplistic. I liked the font, and I couldn't find this on Amazon, but I was happy when I saw it on Bookoutlet. So yay, this is a collection of short stories, and Karen Russell is known for her very strange stories, so I can't wait to read it. Alright, 2 more books. Next I have here a scratch and dent, which is in perfect condition, so yay, and that is Nocturnes by John Connolly. He also wrote, do I have it up here? The Gates trilogy, which is like a middle grade, and then he also wrote, oh, what is it? I have it somewhere. I haven't read it yet. But it's another like fairy tale story. I'll leave a picture here. But anyways, this is a collection of short stories, and I am looking forward to reading it. I love the purple. Love the purple. So pretty. Alright, and then the very last book in this box I had to get because there was only one left, and I liked the cover so much and I just needed to own it. I don't know a lot about it, but I'm excited, and that is The Unsettled Dust by Robert Ackman. And these are some more books that he has written. Those ones, my finger's in the way, yes. So this is also a collection of short stories. And yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 stories in here. And they're all paranormal horror stories, so yay, can't wait to read this one. And again, I had to have this because the cover is so stinking gorgeous. There is a blurb on the back by Neil Gaiman, and it says, "Reading Robert Ackman is like watching a magician work. And very often I'm not even sure what the trick was. All I know is that he did it beautifully." So super excited. So we got here 5 very gorgeous books with some lovely spines. Love. All right, the next, ooh, those were all paperbacks too. The next box, oof, was the actual sale, and I went crazy with this one too. I did have a cart going, which I normally have a cart going on Bookoutlet, and it just so happened that all those books were still available on the sale day, so I just grabbed them all. We have more paper here. All right, the first book is, yay, Warren the 13th and the All-Seeing Eye by Tania Del Rio and illustrated by Will Stell? How do you say that? Not sure. I did borrow this from the library last time, and I saw it on Bookoutlet. How much was it? It was, with the 15% off, I think this one was the most expensive in my cart. It was $5.94. I had to have it. I mean, it's so cute in the inside. Look at that monster. And I figured it would be really cute for my son to read, so I bought it. So I bought it and returned the library book today. So yay! So there's that one. Next, I got Death at the Abbey by Kristen Trent. This is the final, I think. I don't think there's any more. This is the final book in the Lady of Ashes mystery. Now I own all of them. I haven't even read the first one. And I believe, yeah, this is the 5th book. So I have 5 books, all of the books in the series. Never read the author, and I've never read the first book. And that's a flaw of mine. I compulsively buy books that I think I will enjoy and hope for the best. That's what I do. All right, next I have another nonfiction, and it's The Last Asylum, a memoir of madness in our times by Barbara Taylor. You guys know how much I absolutely love asylums. I know it's super not cool to say that anymore, but they're called mental hospitals now. But it's a buzzword of mine. It's a buzzword? I think that's the word you're supposed to use. And I'm just so fascinated by the whole thing, and it freaks me out. This has French flaps and deckled edges, and it's gorgeous, and that is the author, I'm assuming. I cannot wait to read this. Another book for my mental illness reading for the readathon. So excited. All right, next I got another nonfiction called Confessions of a Sociopath, A Life Spent Hiding in Plain Sight by M.E. Thomas. This cover intrigued me. I wanted to read all about it. Oops. That timer's for my laundry. All right, underneath is just black with a white spine. I cannot wait to read this book. I have gone on a nonfiction buying kick, all because of Keely over at Bibliophile's Journey. It's her fault. I buy all these nonfictions, but I can't wait to start them. I'm very excited. Hopefully, like the last half of the year, I'll read a lot more nonfiction. All right, next I have Gabriel, which is the sequel to, I have the first one, what's its name? All right, now that I got the regular one. So this is the sequel to Layla, and I love that the fact that both of the books are, you know, same font. It's got the triangles. I just love them together. They look gorgeous. Can't wait to read it. It's a demon series by Nikki Kelly called the Stycler Saga. So there's going to be more books in this series, and haven't started yet, but can't wait to. If there's a sequel and I have the first one, I feel compelled. Don't ask me why. All right, the next thing I have here is Stephen King on writing a memoir of The Craft. I have already read this a long time ago, but Stephen King is my writing idol. I absolutely love him. I love the fact that not only does he kind of explain how he goes about his writing process, but in the back, if I can remember, yeah, he has a an example of how he edits his work, which I thought was fascinating. I always wanted to buy this, but I never wanted to buy it for full price, and so I found it on Bookoutlet for pretty cheap. How much was it? It was $5.09. Not too bad. So I finally have it, and I'm excited to reread this book because it's got a lot of good information in it. One of the things that he talks about is how he goes out and gets all these Post-its and puts Post-its everywhere, and he has like all of his chapters already planned out, like almost the entire book before he even starts writing, which I think is so cool and completely unattainable in my eyes. I can't imagine being so creative to have an entire book written out on Post-its, like, you know, the main ideas before it's even started. That is the best way. I mean, basically, if you have it like that, then you're just kind of like, it's typed up so quickly when you have it that way. I struggle with my creativity. I don't know how he does it, but he's amazing. I have 2 more books left in the box. So the next book is Challenger Deep by Neal Shusterman. I read this last year in 2015. Gave it 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. It's a standalone mental illness contemporary about a boy slowly slipping in to his mental illness. I believe it's schizophrenia. When you first meet him at the beginning of the book, he keeps missing like times, or he won't remember what's going on, and he starts getting scared. Some points of the book, the boy is like in this dream world where he's on a ship and he's talking to a captain, and he has all these people on the ship that he converses with, and then we see him again in reality where he's going to school, he's talking to his parents, but he's slowly like backing away from them, you know, kind of closing himself off because he's starting to really freak out. His friends don't really see the fact that he's getting sicker. His parents haven't really understood it yet. And then we see him at the mental hospital where he is getting better. The thing that I liked about this book the most was the fact that it was told so beautifully and that the parents involved were completely supportive. There are some parents that are just overwhelmed with the whole process of having a child with a disability or a mental illness or what have you, and they tend to like drop them off with good intentions and then forget about them or slowly stop seeing them because it's just too much for them to worry about, especially if they have more children at home. In this one, he does have a little sister. And so, yeah, and then not only that, but at the very end, you find out that Neal actually had a best friend who was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and so he has a little bit of history. He knows about the illness, and then also the fact that all of the illustrations in this book was drawn by his son, who I believe is bipolar. So again, he knows what he's talking about. It's just not off the cuff, you know. He's not making this stuff up. He's had to live with mental illness, maybe not himself, but through a friend and his son. So again, very well written. It even won the National Book Award, so you can, you know it was good. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. Check it out if you want. It's very good, and it's a YA, so it's short. All right, that doesn't mean YA doesn't equal short. I meant it's YA. So to me, it was an easy read, and it's short, which is a bonus. All right, the very last book I have here is called Ghostly, a collection of ghost stories by Audrey Niffenegger, I think. It's introduced and illustrated by her. And here is some of her illustrations with cats. And let's see. Oh, there we go. And it's like a bronzy spine, and it's black, so it kind of matches the scratches on the front. I can't remember. I think, again, this was sitting on Brittany's like on her shelf, and I really wanted it, and then I saw it on Bookoutlet. This is a collection, again, of short stories. I've purchased a lot of collections of short stories. I want to get into more short stories because it's kind of like a graphic novel, meaning that it's short, like novellas, so you don't have to read the entire book in one sitting. You can read a short story and then pick up a novel and then get back to it, so you don't feel overwhelmed with reading a chunky book. You can read little bits at a time, and it doesn't matter when you get it done because they don't usually go together. Am I making any sense? Anyways, that was all the books for that box. Let me put all of them together. So here is all the books from the second box. Let me grab all of them. Oh my goodness. Okay, so, woo! Let me try to stand back a little bit. All right, so this is my May book haul part 2. It wasn't an accident. I did it on purpose. I just didn't expect to be sharing it with you guys so early. I did want to do it in June, but I don't want boxes sitting in my room because they collect dust and I have allergies. Now I can have books to collect dust and give me allergies instead. All right, thanks for watching this very long video. I do apologize. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!